Hey, in this video, we are going to talk about the 3 big reasons not to buy a Tesla. So before starting this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Tesla has quickly become one of the most popular cars of today. While I do love mine, I have noticed a few instances where I would not want to own this car. If you fall into one of the following scenarios, especially the final one, I would not recommend buying a Tesla. If not, and you can afford it, go for it. Even a year and a half later, I have no regrets about buying this car. If you are still unsure, you could always rent one Turo to see how you like it. Number 1. If you regularly go on road trips over 200 miles. I have taken this car on several road trips, and I have found that on average, I need to stop every 120 miles to charge. It is a good road trip car, as there are superchargers throughout most of America. The Autopilot feature makes the experience of driving long distances quite stress-free. For shorter road trips like LA to Palm Springs, you don't even need to stop and charge it at all. However, if you are someone going on regular road trips that are 300 miles or more, I can imagine you will start to get a little bit annoyed about having to stop several times. From experience, you stop to charge every 120 or 150 miles. Even though the Tesla range is 240 miles. Pushing it to the limit will give you range anxiety, especially as the superchargers do not often match perfectly the 240 miles distance. If you are someone who only takes a long road trip once or twice a year, then I do not think this is a big deal that should put you off from buying a Tesla. Number 2. If you live in an extreme climate. The impact on the driving range if you live in an extreme climate, particularly where it gets very cold, should definitely be on your radar if you are considering buying an EV. I am not referring to normal winter weather, but actually cold places that regularly experience 0 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 17.7 degrees Celsius. Anecdotally, I noticed my range went down quite a bit faster when spending time in Palm Springs this summer because I was always blasting the AC. It wasn't a crazy amount, but I probably used 15 miles more range per day than I usually would have when I was in lab. A 2019 study from Triple showed that the range of a 2017 Tesla model at 75D when fully charged at 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 23.9 degrees Celsius, was 239 miles. Yet once temperatures plummet to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 6.7 degrees Celsius, the range decreases by 38% or 91 miles. Another point to note with colder climates is that you may need an all-wheel drive, and this is not offered with the Tesla base Model 3. You can upgrade for the long-range model with all-wheel drive, but it is $9,000 more. Therefore, a Tesla in an extremely chilly environment is not necessarily a deal-breaker if you afford the upgrade and the more regular charging to compensate for the shorter range. Number 3. If you can't charge it at your house, you should not buy a Tesla, is if you are not able to charge it at your home. Trust me, I didn't think it would be a big deal, but not having a regular spot to charge your car will become a burden very quickly. While you will probably still love the car itself, I think you would have buyer's remorse if you are struggling to find places to charge it. I know this firsthand. When I first got my car, I decided I could just plug it in with an extension cord to a normal outlet. Yet in the space of a few months, the extension cord was turning black, a crack emerging from the outlet, and the odor of melting plastic was all indications this was not a safe alternative, so I stopped charging it at home. In many ways, during those next few months, my life revolved around my Tesla. I was constantly trying to go to places that had a destination charger or had to intentionally schedule a chunk out of my day to go to a supercharger. Although the actual process of supercharging is pretty quick as your battery can be filled in around 40 minutes, in reality, the whole ordeal drew out several hours between driving there and waiting for other people. This is one of the things I wish I knew before getting a Tesla. Although it may seem trivial, I genuinely think that the inconvenience of having to go and find a supercharger every 3 days outweighed all the benefits of a Tesla. I found myself wishing for a normal car again. Knowing this, I made it a high priority consideration in my next move. When I first bought my Tesla, I was not cognizant of this long-term impact as the convenience of home charging limits where you can move to. This is less of an issue in houses where a 110-volt outlet is pretty common, yet even if an apartment building offers an EV charger, be aware that you will probably have to fight to get that spot. Although there is always the option of installing a charger, which can range from $1,000 to $2,000, this is probably not worth it if you are renting. Does your lifestyle fit into any of these scenarios? If not, or if you can afford these added costs, I cannot recommend this car enough. I have no regrets, and I love how it is constantly improving with every update. While all three of these factors are important to take into consideration before buying the car, the only one that is a deal breaker in my opinion is you are unable to charge where you live. As long as you can do that, I do not doubt that you will love this car. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.